Around 10 o'clock in the morning, when I came out of my porch, I noticed that the northbound traffic was totally stopped, and walked to the bottom of the street to see what the problem was, and ran into Mike Bell, who is kind of the spokesman for town, and he told me that there was this landslide north of town and the cars were getting buried in the mud. Once we figured things were under control, came back to La Conchita. My cousin was going to show me how to use my computer. And I think we were on the computer for 10 minutes at the most when we heard this ungodly noise.
From the time it started to do something until it completely settled out and had buried those 10 people was less than 15 seconds. There's three things that cause hillslides: water, water, and water. In January 2005, we had 26 inches of rain in 16 days. That is what the Weather Service is considering a 100-year storm.
I don't know. I don't think they had much of a chance once they were under that mud. Imagine dying under mud like that. You can't move, you can't breathe. I hope it was quick. I hope, you know, there was just such a traumatic shock that it knocked him unconscious or something. And Jimmy was just he was totally distraught on the hill. He couldn't function, you know, he was just crying and waving his arms in the air and digging and then throwing rocks and, you know, and everything. So every time a policeman would come over wanting to get him off the hill or arrest him, we'd tell him, hey, look, his kids are under the hill. If your kids were under here, what would you be doing right now, you know? And so they left him alone. But we had to do that like about 10 times during the day. Just keep the police away from him. And then my neighbor Ernie, he decided there should be some crosses up there for some of the people. So he built the first cross and put it up on the hill. And from that we said, hey, we should do some more crosses. And we had all these broken mirrors. So we said, why not glue broken mirrors on it to reflect the sun? It might look pretty, like a jewel, you know? And the first one we made and put up, it was so beautiful, we said, it was like a miracle or something, you know? So we wound up doing 10 of them. We've got 2 left. The rancher up at the top took the rest of them down because they were on his property. I guess they were too much of a thorn in his side.
The first damaging landslide in recent years was in 1995 when part of the 600-foot-high sea cliff behind the community failed. And everybody said after 95 it wasn't, you know, if another one would happen, but when. A number of geologists have studied the landslide there for consulting reports, for legal cases, and so on. And we all pretty much agree it's a hazardous place. We believe that behind the community in that 600-foot-high cliff, landsliding has occurred for at least 6,000 years.
This geological report study we're going to get done now, it's strictly the state of California bringing in a top-ranked geological firm to do an assessment of the hillside strictly for the betterment of our community, the betterment of the community of La Conchita.
I'm a refugee from a landslide. I can see it coming because it's right outside. And I run, oh, so fast. I'm a refugee from a landslide. I can see it coming.